Welcome to another edition of the Secure Transportation News for October 2022. The news is provided by the International Security Driver Association, and links to all stories mentioned are available in the description of this video. We'll lead off with the security vehicles and the Moose test. As we've discussed many times, when confronted with an emergency, accident, or vehicle violence, a security driver must have the ability to use the vehicle's capability. So it'd be great if we had a standardized test that could test the emergency handling capability of any vehicle. Well, there is. It has existed since 1997. At that time, the German automotive industry launched a safety initiative to define the criteria for a lane change that would accurately measure a vehicle's emergency handling capability. Their work resulted in creating a lane change maneuver that tests the emergency handling capability of any vehicle. They produced an exercise recognized by the International Standards Organization as a standard for measuring the emergency handling capability of a vehicle. Its designation is ISO 3888-2. If you type ISO 3888-2 into Google, you will find the PDFs and drawings of the lane change, including exercise dimensions. A Swedish car magazine adopted ISO 3888-2 as a method of testing the emergency handling capability of the vehicle. The magazine, along with many others, calls the standard the Moose test, which came from the maneuver a driver would need to make to avoid a moose. We guessed that calling it ISO 3880-2 was too complicated. Some automotive press hail the magazine's Moose test as the holy grail of vehicle testing for emergency and rollover capability. It is not. The first issue is that the magazine's Moose test did not have the exact dimensions as the ISO Moose test. The ISO has the exact set of dimensions that must be adhered to, and in the results are measured with an onboard computer. Without data, the result of driving through the Moose test is an opinion. Our next news item is the new Guinness World Record for Fastest Vehicle Slalom. If one exercise appears in almost all security driving and EVOC programs, it would be the slalom course. It is the staple exercise in most of all hands-on driving programs. From the mid-1970s to the present, nearly half a century, the combination of the Scotti School and Vehicle Dynamics Institute have been driving students through a slalom course. So it was with great interest that we, the ISDA, viewed a YouTube video from 2020 entitled A New Guinness World Records for Fastest Vehicle Slalom. The video shows then 16-year-old kart racer Chloe Chambers breaking the Guinness Slalom record. Chloe drove a Porsche 718 Spider through the slalom in 47.45 seconds. What's remarkable is that at 16 years old, Chambers doesn't have much experience in cars, but she has been racing karts for 9 years. So we thought we would look at the Guinness Slalom World Record through the science lens of the old Scotti School and Vehicle Dynamics Institute and zero in on what Ms. Chambers accomplished. Another news item that piqued our interest is from an Autoblog article called It's a Scam. Even after $100 billion, self-driving cars are going nowhere. The article goes on to say that earlier this year, Cruise LLC, majority owned by General Motors Corp., recalled all of its self-driving vehicles after one car's inability to turn left contributed to a crash in San Francisco that injured 2 people. Cruise didn't release the video of the accident, but there's an entire social media genre featuring self-driving cars that become hopelessly confused. When the results are less serious, they can be funny. In one example, a Waymo car gets flummoxed by a traffic cone that it drives away from the technician sent out to rescue it. In another, an entire fleet of modified Chevrolet Bolts show up in an intersection and simply stop blocking traffic. In a third, a Tesla drives at a very slow speed straight into the tail of a private jet. This, it seems, is the best the field can do after investors have bet something like $100 billion. While the industry's biggest names continue to project optimism, the emerging consensus is that the world of robotaxis isn't just around the next unprotected left, that we might have to wait decades longer or an eternity. A question to you. Do you think that fully driverless cars will be in the near future? Let us know in the comments below. Next up is a video from Engineering Explained that discusses a common misconception within the car community and trainers that threshold braking is better than anti-lock braking. In the description of the video, it reads that threshold braking is the be-all and end-all of performance braking, and that systems like ABS cause you to have longer stopping distances. Such is the hubris of car enthusiasts who believe they are Lewis Hamilton and don't need such aids like anti-lock braking systems slowing them down. True, if your car doesn't have ABS, you better learn to perfect your threshold braking technique because it's all you have. But if you drive a modern car with ABS, it's going to outperform your braking time and time again. Our final news item is on building your knowledge of the science of driving. We have been writing and talking about the science of driving for decades. When we were asked if there are any books that explain the basics of the science of driving, we recommended these 6 books. Thanks very much for watching. A reminder that all links to the news items are in the description of this video, and click here to watch last month's Secure Transportation News. And I'll see you in the next video.